Here, if I can get the, yeah, here we go. Just got the invite link. Let me know if it cuts me out here.
I bet. Yeah, you cut out.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah, you cut out for a bit.
Okay, wait, I'm just gonna send you the link and then can you drop it in the Telegram?
Yeah.
Okay, one second.
My computer, I got WhatsApp on that phone.
Did it let you or not? Actually, you know what? I should be able to as well if you can. Yeah, I can. Yeah,
You're
let me,
good?
yeah, I'm good. Let me drop it. Oh, you got it.
Yeah, I can drop it.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so anybody jumping on or just watching the replay of this, Dwitch and I are just basically going to yap about basically brand building, Facebook ads, and yeah, some of our goals personally for, I guess, 2025, based on our own experiences. Me and Dwitch, we run, I guess, slightly different models, but very similar models in the same way too. So we'll kind of be able to give advice based on what we're doing and what's working and how you guys can do it too.
Type shit. I'm
Okay.
curious though, how do you structure your brands? Because I think your stuff's a bit different than like the traditional, e-commerce shit, like selling the trendy products and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's like completely different, which is cool in the sense of just that there's a possibility to do things multiple ways. Like there really isn't like a one size fits all approach. And I've kind of spoke on this before and like how my stuff is, I guess, evolved is like I started out just literally running general stores, like
Yeah.
nothing very branded about it. Like it looked professional, like things looked, clean and built to convert. And I mainly just focused on keeping things functioning the best I could rather than branded the best I could, if that makes sense. Like everything I did was optimized for like fast load times, like quick decisions, like
Yeah.
super bare minimum copywriting, but enough to get people, through the checkout. And
Yeah.
I focused a lot on multi-product testing and running multiple products actually in like tons of different niches all at the same time in the beginning. And it wasn't until like a little down the line, like once I surpassed six-figure months, was when I started to venture into niching down and kind of building a brand in a specific niche after I
Yeah.
validated that niche, but still testing multiple products and scaling multiple products all at the same time. And I know that your stuff was a little bit different in the sense of like you were mainly running all around like a hero product and going all in on brand.
Yeah. And I think that's one of like the one like I wouldn't say a mistake, but maybe it was a mistake, a lesson, whatever you want to call it. That's like the biggest pivot that I'm trying to do this year because I found that some products can't be scaled necessarily to, millions a month or whatever. But if you have multiple products, it can get you to whatever point you want to get to. So
Yeah.
something actually told me that's what you're doing. So in a way, you helped me, restructure how I want to run that store.
And are you keeping everything niche specific? Like obviously,
Yeah.
we don't have to get into any of that, but like are you going all into like one niche and then just
Yeah,
branching
for
out
for that
in
one,
that niche?
yeah, but for the new one, I'm trying to make it more like just health related and anything health related in that aspect. That makes sense.
Okay. And then when you find a winning product, are you going to then like niche down into that specific category of health related products or what are you going to do there? Are you going to still just keep it broad?
I'm not sure yet. I'm thinking of just maybe even just keeping it broad so I can still test a huge variety of products. Because what happens is that you're kind of stuck in a box and you can't really test other type of products. That's what the issue I have with my other stores. Like I'm trying to test different products, but like if it's not a certain type of product, it's not gonna work with the audience. Even if I send emails to them, they're not gonna necessarily buy the product because it doesn't fit that set category of what they already bought previously. So that's kind of like hurdle I have in a way with that specific store that I'm running.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, it's a good approach, especially if it's like the thing that I ran into was because I was testing things in all different types of niches. Like I could be testing things in, hey, Mariah, yeah,
What
yeah,
up? What up? What up? What up?
good to see you. What up, guys? But yeah, I was testing things in all different niches, like anything from like pet products to gardening tools, like
Crazy.
anything. Yeah, like you name it. And the thing is that after a certain point, you do limit yourself in that sense too, because when you think of it, it's like the data that you're collecting and how you're optimizing your, pixel and your ad account and all of your advertising assets. Like if you do go all in on a specific niche or a specific category, like you will be building up and optimizing your pixel in a better way than going like, all over the place. So that's why as soon as I started to kind of niche down more after I'd already proven the concept and established like what's my avatar, I just sold more products to that same avatar, which would,
Mm,
in a sense
makes sense.
kind of fit what you're doing too. But yeah, that helped really make things more efficient and stable. I found at scale, and it was kind of the breaking point from like being stuck at like 100K a month to like going past 300K months. And at that point, that was when it was like, okay, this makes a lot more sense in that sense. But yeah,
Makes a lot of sense. So for you, when you're testing out a product and in that specific niche that you're running, are you looking to hit like a certain threshold of scale with that specific product? Like let's say you want to spend $500 a day with that specific product, or if it can't be scaled, you'll leave it at lower scale just so you can maintain the ROAS. Like how do you kind of structure that?
yeah, 100%. Honestly, I found more efficiency just in like my business as a whole of finding a ceiling with a product, and instead of like you probably felt this before where you kind of feel that ceiling and then
Yeah.
you're trying to just maximize creatives and like do everything you can to pinch that much more, like push that ceiling a little bit further. But even with the best creatives, with the best offers, like at the end of the day I still feel like every product kind of has a ceiling in the demand of the algorithm. Now it might be different obviously if you start running it on YouTube or you start running it
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
Google or on TikTok, but especially on Meta, I find that every product starts to cap out at a specific demand point, even if you do maximize your offers that you create, if you go crazy with testing. Because I have tried to like just for my own sake, it's like, hey, can I push this product further? And I just even after getting everything in place where I'm optimizing creatives, angles, offers, it's like it's only marginal how much more it can be pushed. Now it's
Yeah.
much more efficient to just go out and find a product that sold itself, two times the past product, just because of the demand of the product, right?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. But yeah, like I spent way like it took me way too long to understand that. Like I just tried to force the hero product to work for so long, and like at the end of the day, past like 750 a day in ad spend, if it's not like a giftable season, it doesn't work at all. So that's what I
Right.
found, and that's why I'm trying to make the pivot right now.
Yeah, no, I think it's a smart play. And I actually had a question for you in that sense is like when you were optimizing all of your creatives, when you were optimizing like everything that you could to really push that hero product, like did it help much at all to even get those other creatives, or did you still feel like you were at that same ceiling? Like I don't know like how much
Like
of a marginal difference it really made.
really to the point where it made sense to continue pushing it further, if that makes sense. Like it
Yeah.
was just always like 1 week would be good, but then after that, it just wouldn't work anymore. So there's
Yeah.
always like I'm forcing doing the most for like no, like not enough sales or whatever you want to call it, profitability.
Yeah.
So
What's your
that
plan?
ceiling you're talking about.
What's your plan with that brand? Are you gonna try and like stabilize it and maybe even look to exit it? Or are you gonna keep it as just a cash cow, or are you gonna try to
Honestly,
fix it out?
I'm trying to make it just a cash cow and just operate other brands in like the health industry because I like the giftable stuff, but at the end of the day, like it's kind of hard to maintain when there's not holiday to help push the sales in a way.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
that's why
that's
I'm trying to
tough.
move more evergreen. Your stuff's evergreen though, right? You're
Yeah,
saying?
all of it's evergreen. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that would be a good move. Have you noticed any? Are you up and selling yet on your accounts, like with your health stuff?
Yeah, yeah. I started it The beginning of this month. Nothing too crazy though. Like we only did $900 in spin ups and down though.
Yeah, okay. Have you ran into any issues with accounts and stuff yet, or no? Because I know that Meta
Not
was
with that
pushing.
one.
Yeah, that's good. Because I was going to say Meta was pushing that they were going to be launching updates in the health industry and like being more strict with that. But
Yeah.
I have friends who also sell in the health industry, and they say they haven't ran into too many problems.
I've seen some ads get rejected, but nothing too crazy though. Like that's just normal shit.
Yeah, what do you do when ads get rejected? That's actually a good question because I feel like a lot of people kind of get ads that are rejected and they don't know what to do. Do you delete them out of your account? Do you just leave them? Have you done anything to kind of
I try to
like?
like appeal it in the like the support thingy, whatever, and that's kind of all I do. I don't really do too much. I'm not gonna lie. I don't delete them. I just keep them. I turn them off though. I don't try to keep them on. But other than that, not too much.
I used to delete them, and it makes no difference.
Yeah, that's what I heard. So
And
that's why I
like
just kept it.
even when I appeal them, it's like 90% fail rate in the appeal. So it's
Yeah, I
like
just appeal it just to do it, bro. Like I don't
yeah,
know.
yeah.
I don't really mind it.
Yeah, it doesn't make a difference. Just before we get into the rest of it, if you guys have any questions for anybody who's on here, is stepping live now, but people are coming and going. Just drop your questions in the chat. We can kind of answer them there. And then if you guys are watching this live, obviously on the replay, um, if you guys aren't already inside of our Telegram group, we do conversations like this every single day inside of our Telegram group, and trying to help you guys get to that next level in your business and just kind of like learn from our experiences and what hasn't worked and what has worked and skyrocket your own success. So,
Curious to
um,
know what your systems look like on a day-to-day
yeah,
basis. Because you're running multiple, right? You said like 2 to 3, or how many stores are you running right now?
yeah, three right now.
3.
And my systems are actually pretty dialed in for the sense of fulfillment, customer support. The only
Yeah.
system that I'm actually actively working on making better, which you might even have some input in this, is like just the I guess creative curation system. A lot of it's just been manually done by myself, like all the
Yeah.
script writing. I'll go and get videos and assets made by my editor, and then I'll kind of like chop them up in CapCut and do tests in that sense. But that's one thing I'm trying to make basically a better system for. Um, but yeah, my systems in the sense are pretty dialed. I use Trello and Slack for everything. I've got my customer support reps and managers connected right with my fulfillment team, so I'm not even a middleman anymore. Like they communicate, and I'm actually in the process of basically like promoting one of them to be an operations manager, just because she's like literally,
Goaded.
yeah, she dialed. So yeah, so that's like eventually my goal is to kind of like outsource that entire store, so I can focus on kind of the new store projects that I'm launching, which I see will be long term. They're more branded.
Makes sense. So are you looking for a creative strategist for that one brand you're just talking about right now, or not?
Yeah, I'm just having trouble on finding somebody who's like, I guess, knowledgeable in like copywriting in the sense of like the importance of hooks and going into
Yeah.
structures of the creatives. But I know didn't you hire a creative specialist?
Nah, I only got an editor because they're so expensive, bro. Like a good one,
Yeah.
when you look at it, it's like 10K, 5K a month, like minimum but
Yeah,
you don't even know if they're decent. That's the thing.
I know. You got to spend that just to try it.
Yeah. So have you ever thought about training your editor, or no? Um, d-
I've thought about it, but I don't think that it would
you don't
be.
think so?
Nah.
Yeah, I'm trying now. I'm gonna see if it works because she's actively saying she wants to try shit. Like she wants
Really?
to do more. So I'm like, she can try it out. Because my shit's simple, so it's not too much. Yours might be different because I don't know what niche exactly you're talking about. But
Yeah.
for me, it's literally just putting one hook, one text, just playing with the different clips and stuff. So it's not too difficult.
Yeah. And you're running majority of you'd be running a majority of video ads, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so all of your stuff would have to be that. Actually, mine's like majority of static. So
Yours is
it's
all
like
static.
majority is still static,
That's
yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, I've done a ton of video, I guess, testing, and rarely will I get videos that outperform my static. And it could simply just be the sense that my account has optimized around that
Yeah.
particular type of creative, but most times I don't see how, honestly. But I mean, the numbers tell me different, right?
It's simple stuff, like, you're not doing anything crazy, just the, like, the benefits or whatever, like, that's all you're doing?
Yeah, yeah, a lot of that. And just, I guess, one of the things I focus a lot on is like the headlines of my static as well. Like I'll actually put headlines at the top. If you ever seen like static
Yeah,
ads,
yeah,
have
yeah.
like, headlines at the top.
Yeah.
Um, One thing actually, Dwight, if you haven't tried it yet, try adding like controversial headlines or hooks in your videos to the point where you're like, not that's going to flag policy, but that's like,
Yeah.
I could see this, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like triggering somebody where they're
Mhm.
just like not angry, but
Yeah, I
maybe
know what you mean.
they'll like make a joke about it or
Yeah.
something. I've actually had ads that I'm like, this is either going to do really well or really bad because the creative itself wasn't too great, but it just like it triggered people to the point where it just kind of like blew up in the
Yeah.
comment section, and they just
Yeah.
performed really well.
I need to test that. I haven't tested that, to be
So you can
honest.
test. Maybe it would fit your niche, maybe it wouldn't. But if you can kind of create an interesting way of engagement sparking with your ads,
Yeah.
it's something that's like, yeah, I'll launch it. I'll be like, whoa! The next day I can make it a post ID because it's already got like 20 comments. Yeah.
Crazy. Yeah, I'm gonna play with it. It's actually good insight.
What do we got here? Jazz.
And a
Uh,
pocket watch you.
what'd they say?
On a pocket watch you, bro. Fucking Mercedes, man.
Oh, I see. Yo, Chris, what up, man? Good to see you.
Yo.
Actually, I haven't heard from Chris in a little bit. How's things with you, man? Hopefully things are good. Um, yeah. So, what about your systems right now, Twitch? Like, is your stuff pretty hands off in terms of like operations, or what's your system look like for your customer support, fulfillment, like all of that?
Yeah, so customer support, I don't really do much. I have my girl, she manages the VA, so I don't look at that. And then I have fulfillment. It's just basically the VAs linked, like we were saying, linked with the fulfillment. So I don't look at that stuff either.
Nice.
Then the next system would be creatives. Creatives, I just have the one editor. I put everything on ClickUp. I make looms, explain exactly what she needs to do, throw it up, she gets it done. Then it's just me and her going back and forth for now because we don't have enough revenue to justify paying anyone else to do that right now. And then that's about it, really. There's not too many people. There's like email marketing, but that's about it.
Tough.
Yeah, that's about it, honestly.
Yeah, that's all. What do you find you spend the most time on in a day, like in your day to day right now? With kind of obviously it might be different during different periods of time, but
Yeah.
like, do you ever find that you have days where you're like, I don't even know what to do, or do you always are like keeping busy and there's always something that you're implementing or
Nah,
trying?
I used to like earlier on, but like the way I do that is that every night I just kind of like write down what I need to do. Like I have non-negotiables, so that would be things that I do on a daily basis, no matter what, like running ads, checking in with the team members, like shit like you have to do on a daily basis just to maintain the business. And then I have other things like today I want to script out some new ads for the new brand, so I'm gonna do that after the call. And then I just write down what I want to do. So before I go to bed, I know I have the peace of mind that I know what I want to do for the next day. That's kind of how I structure shit. Because I used to wake up and be like, "Damn, what do I do?" Because so many
Yeah,
things you can do with a business. Like there's so many different moving pieces, and you don't even realize. But that's
yeah,
kind of
that
how
was
I do it.
that was one thing I used to do too. Is I would work on tasks that were like not really needle movers.
Yeah,
I was like, why am I doing this? I'm literally just working for the fact that I'm working. It's like
yeah.
it's just
Changing
wasting
colors on
time.
the website and shit.
Yeah, like
I do
no
shit
more.
like that, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, me most of my
Um,
day though is creators. Though. That's like the most that I like. The most time I spend on the day.
yeah, I feel like that's kind of where my time is spent most as well. Is literally just like checking in with the team, make sure everything's kind of operational, and if there's any problems, I kind of like put those out. right away, or at least try to. And then
Mm.
I spend a lot of time kind of doing like less product research right now, but it's more like research on ads, copy, what other people are doing, what's working, and see if I can get any new like ideas that I can implement into my marketing. That's like, oh, I didn't even think of that. I'm gonna try that and do it this way, and then I'll go and like spend a lot of time on creatives and stuff still, because that's kind of where majority of my time spent right now.
Yeah.
But in the future, it'll be also on product research and that stuff too. Once I get my accounts back up and in stable condition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Amir asked, is it still fine to test products from different niches at the same time, or is it better to test products from one niche before moving on to the next? My opinion is that in the beginning, when you don't have a lot of pixel data, it really doesn't matter. But if you're worried about it, you've been testing products for a long time, you can literally just swap out the pixel with a fresh pixel and start testing again. You can keep everything in the same ad account. It's the pixel. This might be a misconception, but it's the pixel that actually optimizes your data rather than the ad account. The ad account obviously has optimization its own, but it's the pixel that stores the data. So that's the most important part in that sense. Rule of thumb would be like if you've had like, I don't know, like 30 plus purchases from random tests like all over the map, and you're like having a tough time because maybe you're thinking that your data is skewed or whatever, swap the pixel. If there's anything less than that, like there's no point in swapping the pixel. And that number is really just kind of a random number. I'm not even going to lie and say that that's some magic number of 30 purchases. It's like just that's at the point where it's like most people kind of start to feel that way. So if you're worried about it, swap the pixel. But yeah, in the future, once you start scaling, your whole goal is to leverage your data. Like I would be testing products and be like, oh, here's a new winning product. And I post it into like our group, and people are like, dude, like how you find these winning products so much? And it's literally just because I'm leveraging the data that I already have. Like your win rate will go from like a 1 in 30 products tested win rate maybe in the beginning to like less than 1 in 10 win rate, because you're leveraging the data in the avatar that Facebook has already established in your account to go out and find high potential customers for your new tests. So your goal should be test broad, cast a big net, find products that you might not have thought about. Don't limit yourself until you've started to gain momentum and you're like, okay, this type of product or this niche is working well in my account. And then test more products in that niche that are maybe similar but different, that target that same avatar. So yeah. Damn, that was a ramble, but but yeah, good questions. These things that it's like I wish I knew back in the beginning, because it was like I don't know about you, Twitch, but like in the beginning I was swapping ad accounts for like every new test, and I was like,
bro, that's crazy.
yeah, it made no
I'm not gonna
sense.
lie.
Yeah, or like I would do one product stores and like build out a whole new store for every single product. It's just a waste of
Bro,
time.
I never did some shit like that's kind of crazy, bro.
Yeah.
Same. What's your creative strategy looking like? It's like the basic shit, just looking for inspiration from competitors, or do you have like a different way you like to do it?
No, research standpoint, it's literally just going out and finding. It doesn't even have to be ads from my niche or ads from competitors of mine. It's just going out and getting inspiration from people who are spending a lot of money on ads for physical products and seeing how are they doing that, what's working well for them. And again, just getting kind of creative. Like I'm not afraid to like play outside the box in like terms of like thinking of weird things that it's like could spark engagement. I know I just kind of talked about that, but
Yeah.
things that would just be like weird in the sense of like not your typical like, hey, do you have this problem?
Yeah.
Introducing the blah blah blah. Like it's like I'm trying to come up with slightly different things that don't necessarily look like ads as much. That's actually a really good topic. Is one thing that I found is the more native that your ad looks to the platform, I find that the better that it performs on my end. Like whenever I get super salesy with ads, or that I um or that I like am almost trying too hard. It's like or I put in a ton of effort into an edit. It flops compared to like literally just a simple iPhone clip, like not
Yeah.
even like a voiceover or anything, like literally just like an iPhone clip of me demonstrating or using the product with like no text, no music, nothing, and then just like a nice
Yeah.
description with a good headline call to action, and that's it.
It's actually similar to me, bro. Like anytime I spend like 2 hours scripting it out, editing it nicely, it fails, bro. It never
Oh,
performs well. Ever,
brutal.
never works. Never works, bro. All the organic stuff always does way better, bro.
Always. And I don't know if that's actually I don't know if it's from consumers just enjoying that type of content more, or is the algorithm pushing it more because it's less salesy, right? Like if you think of
Yeah,
the algorithm, like its sole goal is to create a good experience for its users. So it might push a piece of content that looks less like an ad solely for that fact. And
yeah,
at the end of the day, it's not that it really matters if it's the consumer or the algorithm that is the reason why it's doing well. It's just if you can see that pattern of that's doing well, just do more of that, right?
facts.
But yeah, it's interesting that you see that too, because yeah, I should have brought that up earlier. It's actually a really good point. So like, if you guys can just like make things look, the quote I heard was people love to be no, people love to buy, but they hate to be sold. So if you can present a product in front of them that they like and they want to buy as a person, but you're not selling them on it, you're
Yeah.
gonna have a high success rate in that sense.
Yeah, you ever see the TikTok ad, like the way the not TikTok ad, TikTok shop creatives, the way these UGC creators like piece together their creatives or no?
No,
Really?
yeah,
Bro, they be like, bro, they start the video talking about how like there's this big problem that like let's say I don't know, the Hollywood industry doesn't want you to know about, and then like they slowly just break down and explain to you how this product is what they use to like clear your face or some shit like that. You know what
oh
I'm talking about?
yeah, yeah. I know what you're talking. There was
Yeah.
this pair of winter gloves. They were literally.
Nah.
Dude, you've probably seen these, but there's like literally a normal pair of winter gloves. I remember seeing an exact like presentation of that. Um, it hooked me because I thought it was just a normal piece of content. Then at
Same,
the end,
bro.
I was like, dude, what? This is just some
Same,
dude
bro.
selling something.
Yeah.
But it's genius, and that kind of goes back to what we're talking about of making
Yeah.
things look as native to the platform and to an actual like just piece of entertaining content that you can make.
Yeah.
Uh, and so if we have multiple stores, then should we do multiple ad accounts or essentially multiple business managers for each store? Personally, I separate just for risk diversification. Every business per business manager. I'll never run two businesses on one business manager because at the end of the day, if you have a business that takes off and you want to, excuse me, and you want to sell it, typically the buyer will want ownership of that business manager. So if you have another store attached to it, you're either gonna have to share it to another business manager and like try and operate it that way, but it's just gonna get messy. So it's like you're better to set yourself up from success day one if you can. And then should we do multiple ad accounts as soon as you get something working? And this is from my own experience, maybe yours too, Dwitch, is start launching new ad accounts as backups because yeah, I just learned that the hard way.
Yeah, that's what I started doing around Q4 because I got fucked so many times, and
Oh, dude.
I thought
I
about it, I just never did it.
I know. I know you just get lazy. You're like, oh, it's not gonna happen this
Yeah,
way.
bro. I'm
Sure.
like, I'll be good, bro. I've been running this for a while, and I get
Yeah.
fucked.
Yeah.
Like,
You just
sucks, bro.
procrastinate and then you just you get
Yeah,
put in the ass.
sucks, bro.
Um yeah, anything else? I guess we've been on here for almost half an hour, flew by, but anything else that you want to add that maybe people can kind of take away from or learn from anything that you've kind of gone through with Q4 and with your new venture to moving to more of an evergreen channel?
Is there anything that I want to tell them, Shane?
Yeah. Anything that you think that's like would be valuable.
I mean, there's a lot, but I'm trying to think of a decent one.
Oh,
Because most,
here's a good question actually we can touch base on. What offers are good to run this month? So Amir, if you're talking about this month, like moving into February, there's obviously, Valentine's Day would be like the main offer. The only issue is that right now it's Chinese New Year, so if you're trying to scale something, it might be tough to do. But if you're testing something, running a Valentine's Day deal or promotion would be a good way to kick off a product test. And with that being said, I don't mean testing a Valentine's Day product. I mean structuring an offer around Valentine's Day and just using Valentine's Day as an excuse to give them a promotion or a discount or an offer or a deal or whatever. Like that's kind of what I mean. Um, Anything that you guys can use to, I guess, using this as an excuse to run an offer is a great thing to do. Even if you're selling like, I don't know, a baseball bat, right? You can still sell it as a Valentine's Day promo, right? You can structure that angle, selling to women that might want to buy their man a baseball bat if they're interested in that. Or you can run it to men and just say, get it while our Valentine's Day sale's on, right? There's a couple ways that you can kind of position offers depending on what you're trying to do with that. But I would focus heavily on Valentine's Day, if that's what you're talking about for offers. But if you mean by offer structures, literally like I don't know, what's your go-to for offer structures, Twitch? Like buy one get ones, compared ads, bundles. Like what do you find, or is it product specific?
For me, it's product specific. Like if I'm testing, I'm not gonna lie, most of the time it's probably just compare that, like to be completely honest. But
Yeah,
then I
yeah,
usually try to bundle something or try to like kind of do like a value stack and just kind of give them more than what they think they're gonna get, because that's kind of how I've been able to increase my AOV a lot. I used to sell the main hero product for like 69.99, but then I had to discount it so much, and then people were getting it for like sometimes $50. But me telling them that they're giving a free this, that, plus a gift box, plus some other shit, then they understand that okay, if I'm spending 89.99 for this, I'm getting more value than I'm paying for it. So I'm able to like justify the higher price point, if that makes sense.
yeah. I've seen a lot of people do that too, of like free gifts on higher price points to increase the
Yeah.
perceived value, like you said, which is a good one if you can test out. It might not be the needed for when you're like just testing a brand new product, but if you
Yeah.
get traction on a product,
Facts.
100% split test those offers. But
But a lot of these products sometimes come with free shit, so you can just act like you're giving it to them for
yeah,
free, if you know what I mean.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
like
yeah,
that's a good one too. Like a water flosser comes with the water picks, but you can just say, "Hey, you're getting it for free," even though they're not.
yeah, 100%. I remember there was I forget what it was. Oh, it was a actually for the 7 people on here. Here's a winning product coming up this spring. Is It was a rangefinder tool like that people would usually use for if they're hunting, like to see the range of how far away whatever they're hunting was. But we're positioning it as for a golf pin seeker if you're playing golf, see how far away so that you know which club to use. And we are doing that exact same thing of like get the pin seeker plus a free case, like a protective case, which it was already coming from the supplier. So you just structure it as like get a free gift with it when they order today or whatever it was. But um, yeah, you guys should test that out. Test that out.
Solid, solid, solid.
Um, all right. Well, I think we'll probably wrap it up there. But again, guys, if you're not already inside the Telegram group, jump in. It's like our second family. We're in there every day. Both me, Dwidge, and Shelton are in there too. So yeah, hopefully we'll see you guys inside that group, and we've got some cool stuff coming up for you.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for jumping on, Dwidge.
There, bro. Got you. Peace,
Okay.
guys.